Think of a time when you've been grounded or when you've been punished and you were restricted from things that you loved or things you wanted to do because you did something that was against your parents' rules. Think of what was going on through your mind at that time. How did you feel? Now think of the outcome after your punishment was lifted. What was going on in your mind then? When I was 8 years old, my family and I moved from Hawaii to California for a better opportunity in life. As an 8-year-old, moving to a new place at that time was definitely hard, especially having to meet new people. Eventually, I met some kids in the neighborhood. One day, one of the kids asked if I wanted to play a game with them. A game they normally played in the neighborhood was called War. The object was to throw little rocks to the opposing group, who were standing about 2 houses down from where we were standing. At that time, it seemed fun, so I joined. It was our own little Call of Duty game in real life. Now thinking back at it, it did seem dangerous. The next day, those of us that were playing the previous day came back and we played the game again. This time, there was a car parked in the driveway between us, between the homes. So we didn't think anything of it. We continued to play. I threw a pebble, probably the size of a little marble, towards the opposing group, but this time my throw went a different way than what I anticipated it to go. It went the direction the car was sitting, and immediately the rock did hit the passenger side door, shattering the windshield. It did not fully shatter into pieces, but the windshield was cracked in all different places. All the kids immediately disappeared. This is where my topic comes in. I was the only one standing there in awe and scared. I didn't know what to do, but I knew I was in trouble. Moving forward, later in that day, my uncle immediately punished me and grounded me. I could not play outside for the rest of the week, banned me from doing anything, losing the rights to do anything that I like to do, like watching cartoons on television, or playing with my toys, or playing with games in the home. Rights and privileges were out the door. Definitely a punishment I'll never forget. My name is Vili Katoa. My question is, should felons, criminals, or people on parole and probation have the right to vote? The example that I shared shows rules and rights in my home, rules that are put in order by parents to abide by. Yes, I did something wrong and the consequences are followed. You are banned from doing things that would be considered to be fun until the quote, debt is paid in full, close quote. My rights were taken away in my home until consequences are cleared and the debt is paid. According to the Brennan Center for Justice, the felony and criminal disenfranchisement in the United States states, and I quote, millions of Americans are excluded from our democratic process on the basis of criminal disenfranchisement laws. These laws strip voting rights from people with past criminal convictions, and they vary widely between states. It goes on and it says, navigating this patchwork of state laws can be exceedingly difficult, especially because election officials often misunderstand their own state laws, close quote. If you look at the chart, you will see the different state with different laws in regards to convicted felons' rights to vote. It varies with laws, and this can be very difficult to understand. You'll find the same information in the National Conference of State Legislatures, where you'll see a more clear picture of the list of states and what the rights are in those states. Once again, it makes it very difficult to keep up and understand. So, with that being said, to make things easier, avoiding the quote patchwork of the state laws to a more centralized and more unified law for all states, having the right to vote stripped from felons, criminals, or people on parole or probation until their time is served completely and debts are paid. This would minimize the cause of confusion for rights to vote in the United States. Now, going back to my experience, understanding that I did something wrong, taking the things away from me as part of my punishment makes sense. Any parent can agree with that. The same for someone that committed a crime. The punishment is that they are banned from society and from the things that are out there, including voting rights, until their quote debt is fully paid, close quote. And they are free from their consequences, of which then rights to society should be placed back on that person, including the right to vote. Let me conclude with this. In the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the word citizen means an inhabitant of a city or town, especially one entitled to the rights and privileges of a free man. In the United States Constitutional Amendment, Amendment 15 is about the right of citizens to vote, which state, and I quote, the right of citizens to the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on the count of race, color, or previous condition of servitude, close quote. So you see, citizens are free men and women. You lose that right when you're facing time in jail or on parole or probation. Giving the rights back to those who have served their time and are free from their wrongdoing, giving them the opportunity to be able to do what they feel would be good to society, like getting a job or being a part of a community or being an upstanding citizen. They should have the right to vote. Thank you very much.